I think it's fair to say that our world is being reshaped faster than we can reshape ourselves. And this restless, insecure world is one of the drivers, it's one of the fuel behind anti-establishment politics. And every day, stories emerge about upheaval, about the rate of change. And all of us know these stories, and we see them, but we don't understand perhaps the extent of the change. In 2016, I covered the Trump campaign. And he really was a wrecking ball candidate. Whether you're a fan of his or not, he was a wrecking ball candidate. And he decided the more outrageous he became, the more it put him on the side of those people who felt excluded and left behind. And on election night, I attended the Trump campaign victory party in Manhattan. And it was, as always, something of a curious affair. I could identify almost no established politicians. This really was a family affair. It was one of those black swan moments, huge impact, but largely unforeseen. If there is one theme shared by anti-establishment politics and politicians, it is the idea of taking back control. The central claim here in the UK of the Brexit campaign is that you can take back control over borders, over laws, over money, over immigration. And in the end, that is how that will be judged, whether you were able to take back control. Trump's central theme was that American workers were victims of a conspiracy, and that conspiracy had a name: globalization. Jobs were moving abroad, and governments seemed incapable of protecting these workers. But taking back control in a globalized world is very, very difficult, in my view, almost impossible to achieve. And what drives angry politics is the fear of losing control of the forces changing our lives. And when it comes to technology, trust has clearly been broken. Who could imagine that Facebook would be used to try and undermine an American election? The executives of Facebook said it was a crazy idea, until it turned out to be true. Who could imagine our data would be used to target us during an election campaign? So, just summing up, what do I think needs to be done? We will need to disrupt ourselves. Culturally, we'll have to adapt to constant change. Our education system seems to be geared to the last century rather than the next century. Maybe computer science becomes a core subject. Maybe all students need to have some understanding of coding. And countries will have to invest in lifelong learning. And it is worth remembering, my final point, that the pace of change has never been so fast, but it will never be this slow ever again.